Hello and welcome to the mind map about bacterial disease. First we'll go through the characteristics of bacteria. Bacteria are prokaryotic in that they've got no membrane-bound organelles. They do have a cell wall made of peptidoglycan, and gram-positive bacteria have a lot of peptidoglycan in their cell wall. Gram-negative bacteria have a lot less peptidoglycan in their cell wall. They have two types of DNA. They have DNA found in the nucleoid. It is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane and is not wrapped around histones. It has DNA found in plasmids, which are circular self-replicating pieces of DNA, and again they are not wrapped around histones. They can have hairline structures, and there are three types. Pili are used for conjugation, which is the exchanging of plasmids. Fimbriae are for attachment at the site of infection, and flagella are used for movement in a process called chemotaxis. They can have different shapes. They can be rod-shaped, called bacillus, curved rod, vibrio, spherical, coccus, and spiral, spirala. Bacteria reproduce by binary fission. The DNA replicates at the origin. The DNA moves to opposite poles. Each nucleoid attaches to a different membrane part. The cell lengthens or elongates. The septum grows using the FIT-C proteins, which creates two daughter cells that are clones of both each other and the parent cell. Pathogenicity is like virulence. Pathogenicity is the damage it does to host tissue, whilst virulence is about the mortality. So the bacteria attaches to the host cell using its fimbriae. Generally it doesn't invade the host cell, but it can. It uses the host cell for food. It releases enzymes and toxins that destroy host tissue. Gram-positive bacteria release exotoxins, and gram-negative bacteria release endotoxins. A gram-negative bacteria, when it dies, its cell wall breaks down, and the parts of the cell wall are the endotoxin. Then we need to know two types of bacteria. The first is the type that causes tuberculosis. It's called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It's an aerobic bacillus, which means it needs oxygen, and it's rod-shaped, and it has an outer membrane. It spreads through respiratory droplets, is extremely pathogenic and virulent. It reproduces and hides inside macrophages, which are the cells that are looking for it. This process prevents antigen presentation and can lead to latency. It mainly affects the lungs and can be fatal. Symptoms include a bloody cough, fever, sweats, and weight loss. It used to be called consumption in the old days because it seemed to consume the individual. The cure is antibiotics, although there are many drug-resistant strains now. Prevention is with vaccination. Only 5 to 10% develop the symptoms, the other 90% remain latent. Latent TB is not transmissible, which means that someone who is in the latent phase cannot transmit it from person to person. In this case, the tuberculosis forms granulomas inside the lungs, which is a macrophage cyst. Then we also need to know about Craown Gall. Craown Gall is caused by the bacterium Agrobacterium tumefaciens. We came across it in transgenics. Again, it's an aerobic bacillus with an outer membrane. It's motile due to its flagellum, and it can swim through wet soil. It's extremely pathogenic and virulent to plants. It enters the roots of damaged or weak plants using the process of chemotaxis. A damaged root produces chemicals, and the bacterium swims along the concentration gradient. It infects plants with the TI plasmid. TI stands for tumor-inducing. The TI plasmid makes tDNA, which is transferred to the host using the pili. tDNA contains the gene for food, which in this case is opines, for reproduction using the hormones auxin and cytokinin in the plants, and for the process of transformation using VERS-C. Symptoms of Craown Gall are a woody mass on the trunk, which is the Craown Gall. This is deadly to young plants, but older plants can live with it. The cure is antibiotics made by beneficial bacteria, and prevention is better than cure. So Craown Gall is prevented by sterilising your tools, not planting infected trees, and making care not to plant any plants with damaged roots. Thank you for listening. I hope it's been a help to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.